Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Liz, a married mom to 3, almost in my 40s, and on this channel I want to share my authentic journey of learning to live with more intention, save with purpose, and spend with joy. I want to share lots of vlogs, what I spend in a week, traveling on a budget, personal finance, lifestyle, all of that in hopes that I can connect with other women on a similar journey. I hope you subscribe, introduce yourself in the comments. I would love to get to know you. And for my very first video on this new journey, I thought I would do a monthly reset, share monthly goals, intentions, our monthly budget. I hope you enjoy as I take you along resetting for May. Hopefully encourage you to write your own list if you haven't set your goals and intentions yet for May, or even your yearly goals. It's never ever too late. I'll give you an overview of the categories that I like to focus on: home, career, income, health, personal, family, adventure, spirit, marriage, and friendships. Those are my key categories. And I'll give you an example of the yearly and then breaking it down for monthly. So for example, for our home, the intention is to feel calm and peaceful. The yearly goal is simple systems, clean, clutter-free. I don't know about you, but entering this stage of life in my 40s, I do not want stuff anywhere. It makes me feel anxious, less productive, and I just don't want to take time away from being present with my family to have all of this stuff to clean and maintain. So one of my big goals for this year is to really pare down and really stop buying. I say that I love experiences over things. However, I do love thrifting. If you didn't know, I do have a second channel where I do a lot of thrifting and home decor. And I just have been collecting a lot of stuff and I want to get more intentional with that. I used to be better at something in, something out, and I want to just focus a little bit more on that. And overall, that's going to help me create a more clutter-free, simple home. That's an example of a yearly goal. And now for the monthly goals. So starting off with home, again, my intention for the year, I want to feel calm and peaceful. And then again, my yearly goal is simple, clean, clutter-free. So my measurable monthly goals for home this month for May are to declutter and deep clean one area per week. Again, I don't want to overwhelm myself. I just want to start decluttering room by room, area by area. And my second goal for home is to maintain my weekly cleaning schedule. This is something that I sometimes struggle with, is just maintaining that weekly schedule. And I know that if I do these things every single day, it's going to make cleaning so much easier because I'm touching different areas and I'm not doing it all at once. And again, at this stage in my life, I don't want to spend time cleaning. I also don't want to hire it out because I would rather use that money for something else in our budget. I need to stick to my weekly cleaning schedule. Now, when I go and create my weekly plan, I know that I need to add these things in, and I'm very time specific with them so that I make sure that I get them done, because if we don't plan, we plan to fail. I think that's the quote. So the next category is my career category, and my intention for the year is to feel successful, ahead, inspiring, and productive. And my measurable monthly goals for May is to create this new channel, which I'm very excited. I've already done that, and to film 3 videos a week. I want to film 1 for my thrifting channel, and then I want to film 2 for this new channel. So that is my goal. Again, measurable, something that I can plug into my weekly schedule and be really intentional about. That is career. The next category is income. And for my income, my intention this year is to feel freedom, happy, joyful about money, a constant flow of it, and not have to worry. My measurable goal for May when it comes to income is to track our finances daily with joy and ease. In my weekly schedule, I always have budget check-in. It's like one of the first few things I do. I have like a routine about it. I love to create habits with my goals, and maybe I'll do a full video on that. For example, drinking my morning coffee, I check in with our budget. That's a time that I journal and do all these other things. It just becomes a part of my daily routine, and I feel like that helps me achieve my goals and do the things that I want to do. Again, be more intentional without really thinking about it. My next category is health, and my intention this year is to feel grounded, healthy, vibrant, and happy. So my measurable goals for May is to walk 2 to 3 times a day, which our dog Piper makes it very easy for me to do that. And then working out twice a week. My husband and I go to the gym together. Another plus of having older kids is it does create more room in your day to just spend more time together and do those things that you enjoy doing together. So exercising is one thing that we love doing together. And ultimately, when I do those things, it makes me feel grounded, healthy, vibrant, and happy. Next category is my personal category, and my intention for the year is to feel beautiful, taken care of, lots of self-care. And measurable goal this month is to get a pedicure and also book a massage. So 2 big things for this month. And this is why I love to set my goals before I do our budget, because now I know that when I go and do our budget, I need to make space in it for the pedicure and then a little bit for the massage that the insurance doesn't cover. That is another little tip too. Next category is family, and my intention for the year is to feel happy, connected, and have fun together. Measurable goal for May is to have a weekly family night that is tech-free. Another thing about having older kids, I don't know about you, but we are going a mile a minute, and really just making this a measurable, attainable goal, it makes it happen, and then it ends up just making our family feel so much more connected. And I specifically said tech-free because it can be so easy to like watch the hockey game together or watch a movie, but we're not really talking and like connecting. I'd rather it be like a game night, really setting that intentional time to just talk, because we need to get these kids talking more. So weekly family night is on the goal list for May. And then also a fun family outing. One for the month. I know the May long weekend is coming up, so maybe we go to our local amusement park. I will see once we're setting up our budget what we have for that. And I'll talk a little bit about it, like our travel family fun fund, say that 5 times, when I get to the budgeting part of the video, because that is really helpful just to set aside money every month, especially when you have a larger family, to be able to do things stress-free and debt-free. I'll chat about that. But next category is adventure. So my yearly intention is to feel expansive, to feel sunshine, fun, and carefree. I am definitely someone who values experiences over things. I happily drive my, it's like 13 years old minivan, because I would much rather take money from that would be for like a car payment, put that towards an experience. That is a little something about me, and I want to share lots of travel stuff on here too, like traveling on a budget, because I really don't think you have to spend a lot of money to travel and to create experiences with your family. So I would love to do like budget family travel content too. I feel like it is attainable for each family, especially if you plan and you budget. Measurable goals for May when it comes to adventure is to book our anniversary trip. Once a year, we go on like a little getaway, my husband and I use our credit card points, so it's always free. And I need to look into that, make sure like I set up babysitters and get that all sorted out so that we can get that booked for June. And another measurable goal is to go to a new coffee shop every single week, because I'm also learning, again, this is such a journey for me, is it doesn't always have to be a big, grand, like adventure, like traveling. It can just be going to a coffee shop or trying a new ice cream shop or going for a walk in a new area. We love to do that, or riding our bikes. I want to challenge myself to still get that adventurous kind of new experience feeling without spending money. That is a goal for this month, is to just get out to local coffee shops and just people watch and edit and just like enjoy that. So that is on my list for May. And then my spirit category, my intention for the year is to feel grounded, clarity, and lots of gratitude. My measurable goals for May is when I take my dog for midday walk, I like to walk around this like little wooded area. I feel so connected in that space, and I just want to make sure I'm doing that every single day. I'm taking time to pray and just feel into that grounding. And second measurable goal is to gratitude journal every single day. That's part of that like habit stacking and just having that system where every single morning I kind of have like, I don't want to use the word ritual, but I do things like in a specific order that again just make sure that I'm hitting those categories that like means something to me. For the marriage category, my intention is to feel happy, connected, and adventurous, because we do love some adventuring together. Measurable goals for May is walking together every single day. We love to take the dog for a late night walk. That is something that we've really been enjoying. Like, I feel like you can just talk so freely with your partner while you're just like walking. and dream together and just make plans and experience life together in such a simple way. I love that. And then another measurable goal for May is to have a date night. So again, in our budget, I need to make sure that I'm allotting money aside for a date night. And then in the friendship category, my intention for the year is to feel connected. Connected is coming up a lot for me in 2025. Have friends that feel like sunshine. It's random, but that's what came to me when I was setting my intentions this year. And be loving and be loved. I really want to make more time for friends this year. I'll be 40 in August. There really is this like reflecting time. I also went through a little bit of a health scare. All is good, but I feel like there's so much perspective. I want to do the things that I say I want to do. I want to be the kind of friend, person, mother, wife, sister, all of the things that I want to. And I feel like I need to do that now, if that makes sense. I don't know why that just came out, but maybe someone needed to hear it. My yearly goal is wonderful friendships that feel like sunshine. I want to create a community of women. I want to meet, even if it's just one friend that is like-minded too, that I can talk about these kinds of things with. Navigating friendships in your 40s is challenging because you're so busy, right? Like I have like my sports mom friends who I love so much. And I have my friends from high school, and I have friends that I've met, while raising the kids at different points in that journey. I just love to meet a friend at this stage in my life as this person, because we're constantly evolving. My friendship goal for May is to have friends over. I feel like it's so easy to just be like, I'm so busy, or we're so busy, or we don't have time. And it's like, really, can we just make time for the people that matter, And the second goal I have for May is to talk to somebody outside my circle. When like you're in a social situation, I find it like just comforting to just talk with the people that I usually talk to. I talk to the same moms, I have the same conversations. I'm challenging myself this month to talk to other people, to get myself out there and really push myself outside my comfort zone. I want to push myself in my 40s and hopefully for the rest of my life and just be super like authentic. And I feel like when you are so authentic, that's when you really find your true friendships and connect with people on that deeper level, because then they have the opportunity to like feel that from you and also share their authentic self. Anyways, friendships is a huge one I'm focusing on this year. Those are my monthly goals and my yearly intentions for each of them. Hopefully it encourages you, if you haven't set some monthly goals for yourself, maybe you can do that. And I don't overwhelm myself. I know some people have so many different, like 4 or 5, 6, 7 goals for each category. I just like to keep it super simple. And then if I get some other things done, I'm winning. But these are kind of like non-negotiables. Again, kind of going back to that yearly goal. How close am I to that? What is that looking like? And how can I break that down? The next thing that I like to do when it comes to resetting for a new month is my budget. And I will do a full video on how I budget our finances, because I feel like I've found a system that is simple and works. And if you're someone that doesn't have a budget, hopefully this encourages you. It really is so helpful to have a plan and really give those dollars a name and decide where you want them to go. Let's look at our monthly budget. And a couple things, I'm gonna be super authentic and transparent with you as much as I can. I am married and my husband is much more private than I am. I am that friend that overshares and will go there, and there'll be lots of areas that I do that. But when it comes to our finances, he has asked that I keep our income private and our savings investing private. So that is what I'm going to do. But please know that style of budget that I do and share is for anyone, whether you make $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month. It's all about, you can have someone who makes $5,000 a month. If they spend only $4,000, they're gonna have more money than the person that makes $10,000 that spends $11,000. It's all about those simple money principles. And that's really what I want to focus on here on my channel. I budget in a zero-based budget style, which means I take our entire income and I make sure that every single dollar has a name, because for many years we would get paid and we would not know where that money went, right? Because tapping all month and swiping all month, and I didn't really know where it was going. Again, just being more intentional and having that plan and saying, this is where I want this to go. I'm willing to say no to this because I want the money to go here. So that has been really helpful for us. So we've budgeted this way for the past 10 years, ever since we paid off about $40,000 of debt. We followed Dave Ramsey's plan. Let's go through expenses for the month. And just to put into perspective, like I said, family of 5, I have 3 kids, and we live just outside of Toronto, Canada. So you will get a glimpse into how expensive it is to live here. Starting with our expenses, for groceries, I budget $300 a week, and there's 5 weeks that I'm budgeting for, so that's $1,500. Eating out, I just added the eating out portion of $50 because I just did our goals and I know that we want to go on a date night, so I added $50 for that. Gas for the van is $50 a week. It just went down, thank goodness. It was way higher before we had like a gas price break. Petty cash, this is an area I used to have a cash allowance for my husband and I, where we would each get $100, and that would just be like whatever we want. And I can't even think of what we would spend that money on, which is why I'm challenging us to not use that in May. Because as you'll see, as I keep sharing our budget is so detailed that if there's something we are buying or we need, there'll be a line item in the budget for that. I took that out for this month. We'll see how it goes. The next category is clothing, and I gave us a budget of $200. I'd like to add a couple new spring, summer items. I just did the kids a couple months ago when we went away for spring break, so I'd like to do us now. If you have any clothing sites for women in their 40s, let me know down below. I was just gonna like go on Old Navy. I usually go to Target, but the dollar is so bad that I probably shouldn't do that. Let me know where you shop. Talk more about a buffer toward the end of my budgeting. Our dog's food, $100 for the month. Protein powder, I order once a month. It's $37.99. Gifts, we have a birthday party. Our second car, we don't drive it a ton. I have $50 for the month for that car. Haircuts, we budgeted $120 for this month. My 2 boys and my husband get their haircuts once a month usually. Pedicure, because of my goals, I made sure I put that in here, $75 to get a pedicure. And then skincare, I don't need anything this month, so I left that empty. Bills and subscriptions, our mortgage, we pay weekly accelerated payments. It's just over $520 a month, so I budgeted $521 times 5 weeks is $2605. Hydro, $450. This is the month that has the water. It alternates with and without water. So this is the higher month. Enbridge gas, $150. Property tax, $431. You should see my backyard. It's teeny tiny. Gym membership, $57 for both of us. Netflix, $27. Reliance is nothing this month. It's a quarterly purchase. Amazon Prime, $20. Our insurance, this is both car and home, is $391, and then my son's braces is $124. The insurance company pays half and we pay half, which is awesome. So these are our sinking funds, and basically what a sinking fund is, little funds of money, planned purchases. Christmas, for example, we all know Christmas is gonna happen. So instead of having that big bill pop up in December when you're shopping, putting money aside each and every month for Christmas makes that just so much more manageable. Things like our dog. So our dog has a sinking fund. $50 a month goes into her sinking fund because we know that she's gonna need things as they pop up. So going through our savings, so we have our rainy day savings. We're putting money in for that this month. Future Liz popping in on voiceover because I did forget to mention about our travel fund / our family fun fund. This is the account that is currently budgeted to get $600. This is where we take money for any travel. So I do have a little sinking fund that I add to month by month. This month I got a little bit more because we are planning on going on a summer vacation. So I'm trying to get that built up a little bit. But this is the account that I also take money from if we're doing something fun as a family, we're going on an outing, anything like that comes out of this account. And this account is paid last. So I do not make a deposit to our travel family fund sinking fund until the end of the month because it is dependent on if everything in the budget works. So I almost treat it like my buffer, which is what I was saying earlier in the video. Again, I will do a full video on how I budget, why I budget in an upcoming video. But for now, I wanted to just give this kind of first video look into a May reset. Our car is getting $350 because we need to do oil changes, take off winter tires. So I want to do a bigger amount for that sinking fund. My daughter's cheer sinking fund is getting $250 just to make sure that when her fees pop up, I have that money kind of in that account. So I like to make sure that I put that in. Hockey fund is getting $950. Can we talk about travel sports and how ridiculously pricey it is? So his fees are popping up, and again, I wasn't as intentional saving throughout the year, so I'm hoping to be better at that. So please hold me accountable. But yeah, I needed to put $950 towards that fund this month to make sure that that is looked after and we're not stressing about that payment. We're saving for an Airbnb, so that got nothing this month because everything went to hockey, just being honest. And then my taxes, I save a portion of my income because I am self-employed. I make sure that I put that in my tax account every single month. And then Christmas also, nothing went into Christmas because it has to go to hockey. That is a glimpse at our savings. And I forgot to mention, the first thing I do when it comes to budgeting, when I sit down and do our budget, I pay our future selves first. So the very first thing that I do is money goes into our TFSA, money goes into the RRSP, and money goes into that rainy day saving fund that we have. That happens automatically every single month because I don't want the lifestyle creep of thinking that we have X amount of dollars to budget with and then nothing goes into those funds that really support our future and our goals and the things that we want. Eventually, I would love to get the Airbnb fund to be a priority as well. It's just at this stage of life that I'm in with the kids and their sports and all the other things that pop up. Once we get our rainy day fund to where we're comfortable, maybe that will kind of give us more flexibility to put more money in there. But for now, that is what we have. So yeah, that is our monthly budget. I use this great spreadsheet. This is not sponsored. I bought it with my own money. I'll link it down below. It's amazing. And what I love about it is it has this transaction tracker built right in. So as the month is happening, I will add each transaction and then it does the totaling for me. So for example, my grocery budget is $1,500. Every time I have that grocery charge or transaction, I can select that it is a grocery category and then it will take that money and then add that up. So at the end of the month, I'll have a clear snapshot of exactly how much I spent on groceries. And it just makes it really, really simple. That is my monthly reset for May. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and hopefully we can keep each other accountable. I'm thinking of doing like a mid-month check-in, maybe more of a vlog where I just kind of take you through my day and we kind of do a little bit of a where are we in the month, how much have we spent, what are our goals looking like? Again, just to keep each other accountable. And I really, really hope to build that community here and just sense of friendship. I'm so grateful that you're here and I am looking forward to seeing you all in my next video. I hope you all have the most beautiful May. Bye everyone.